Hello and welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. Today we're having a very special bottling, and it's the release of the Traigh Bhan Ardbeg, 19 years old. And I'm sitting here with Stephan Gómez. You are the new brand ambassador for Ardbeg. You've been the brand ambassador now for 3 months, and you've been in the whiskey business for 8 years. So thank you very much for having us here, and thank you very much for sharing the Traigh Bhan with us.
Thanks for having me.
So what is the Traigh Bhan about? Is that a new special bottling, or what is it?
Well, it's our newest addition to our core range. Now, I want to use that word very carefully because it is released in batches. So we will have one batch each year. So this September we released the first batch, which carries Mickey's name, Mickey Heads. And then next year there will be a new batch with a new name, and there will be a slight batch variation. So yes, it's part of the core range, but then again, each batch will be unique.
So core range is now then 5 bottles?
Correct. If you consider the Traigh Bhan a part of the core range, yes.
Okay, so Traigh Bhan sounds Gaelic. That is Gaelic, right?
It is Gaelic, yes.
So what does it stand for?
It means singing sands. And singing sands, you told me you've visited?
Oh yeah, I've visited the Singing Sands. When you go from Ardbeg to the next big city, Port Ellen, you drive through Port Ellen and you go to the Port Ellen Lighthouse, which is an awesome place to fish, and there's also Wi-Fi. And then you go a bit further, then there is a beach there, and it's a sand beach, actually pretty nice sand beach, and it has rock formations on that. And you've copied that to your box, didn't you?
Yes, we put that on the box. The box has a very beautiful contrast between the white sand and the volcanic stone. So it looks very nice, and it has little footprints, teeny tiny footprints, which belong to Shorty, because Shorty will guide you around the package, so you don't have to handle that yourself.
Okay, so it's a 19-year-old. Does that mean, is that just spirit from after the reopening?
Yes, it is indeed. The special thing, if we're talking about the reopening or closure of Ardbeg, is that the youngest spirit that was distilled in here, you can see it in the batch coat that's in the front, was actually distilled in March 2000. And you remember 2000 is when we founded the Ardbeg Committee, which was founded basically to never close our gates again. And I think this is the best example. It's basically monumental for the fact that we never close again.
Okay, so that's really interesting. So do you actually tell what is inside, what kind of cask and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, of course. So in classic Ardbeg fashion, of course, we have American oak casks. And in addition to that, we have Oloroso sherry. But it's not a classic finish at Ardbeg. We work more with marriages, so it would be a marriage between those two.
Okay, so you have a marriage between 1920 American or bourbon, ex-bourbon,
Correct.
first fill, second fill, maybe, I don't know, and Oloroso. So Oloroso, is it Oloroso? Is it fruity?
I would like to think that it's pretty subtle. The exact ratio between Oloroso and bourbon casks, of course, will vary because what we're trying to achieve here is flavor and not a recipe. Okay. So it needs to be adapted to achieve that desirable flavor that we were going for. And I think you'll be able to tell by yourself.
So Ardbeg, if I define the character of Ardbeg, is a very smoky one. I've tried the Kildalton 74 at the Ardbeg Adventure, and that was more subtle with the phenols and the smokiness.
Very much so, yeah.
Probably because of the age. Is that still? Does that compare to the core range or more to the Kildalton, or what do you reckon?
I would say it's actually closer to the core range than to 70s Ardbegs, for the simple reason that after such a long time, the phenols just tend to, go away. That you don't really have that phenolic presence of smoke in those 70s whiskeys. And here you still do. Of course, it's more subtle after 19 years. You have a very subtle smoke. which doesn't hit you right away. I mean, right now I'm not sniffing a peat wall. It's more like it's there, but it's not overwhelming.
Okay, good. So, how many ABVs is like Ugadal, or is that normal? Or where did you go?
It's a little bit more tame than the Ugadal. It's this one is bottled at 46.2%.
Okay, 46.2 is a good range. So, okay. So, I guess we had everything that leaves us with a tasting.
Yes, it's a tough job, but someone has to do it.
Okay. Yeah,
it's pretty cool out here.
It's pretty cold out. It's getting colder as it's getting darker.
Time to warm up then. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, definitely some smokiness. I've already had it inside, but there was people and food and that kind of stuff.
Completely different, right?
Yeah, it blended in well with the food that you serve, but
I think actually, since we let it rest a little on the table right now, I actually think there's more smoke in the glass right now.
It's pretty much a smoky whiskey.
Yeah.
It's definitely a smoky whiskey, and it really has the Ardbeg DNA, but you do already smell a bit of that fresh fruitiness. I was expecting more of a when you think about Oloroso, then you always think about that Christmas taste.
Yeah. Christmas cake, or as we call it here in Germany, Christstollen.
Christstollen, yeah. with the what do you call it, raisins and that. That's not here. That's more of a round, I would say, pineapple juice. I've had a bottle of pineapple juice in my fridge for a few days, so that's comparable to it. And the pineapple juice is it's not one of these harsh pineapples when you eat it fresh, but more of the round, creamy ones. It's really a creamy feely. That when you have a Ardbeg, it's the Ardbeg. Usually, it hits you a bit more, especially let's say the Supernova or the roller coaster.
Yeah.
But this one is a bit more round with a lot of peat smoke.
Definitely. And what you mentioned about the pineapples, I recently made chili sauce with Ardbeg, because why not? And I added pineapple, and what I did actually is I grilled the pineapple first, which will remove some acidity and release the caramelized sweetness. And I think that's the kind of pineapple note I'm getting here.
Grilled pineapple.
Yeah.
You really have to do that sometime again.
Oh yeah, do it. It's fun.
End of season barbecue.
Yeah, and that roundness, and as you said, the smoke is definitely present. It's not overwhelming.
I like it. It's nice.
Pretty good nose, right? You don't even want to drink it. The nose is...
Oh, I do want it.
You do? Okay, then. I think we should.
Lunch him?
Cheers.
It's very round for a 46-year-old. And 46%. But when you swallow it, you do get a bit of spiciness in there.
Beautiful spice.
But a lot of fresh fruitiness. What you did smell, you do get in the taste. You have a bit of creaminess, fresh fruitiness, a bit of pineapple, slight citrus. So there's a bit of you do remind a bit of a 10-year-old, but a lot more subtle, a lot more laid back, creamy,
and I
more
think,
on the fruity side.
I think that's the absolute beauty of it. That you do recognize the DNA of our 10-year-old, so you know it's an Ardbeg. But then you have those beautiful fruity notes, the spice, which just kind of, it leads you to those fruity notes. It's kind of, it smoothly leads you into the next layer of flavor, which is beautiful, beautiful fruit. It lingers. It's not gonna knock you out with peat smoke. And that wasn't the point of this Ardbeg. This is basically taking that Ardbeg DNA to the next level and make it a more, as you said, rounded, enjoyable experience.
Yeah, it's a laid back, nice, smoky Ardbeg round. It's interesting. It has a bit of that DNA of the 10-year-old in it.
Yeah.
But also a little bit of that fruitiness from the drum.
Oh yeah.
Not as far as it, but a little bit of that as well, and a little bit of the spiciness of what's the
Corryvreckan.
The Corryvreckan, the Vortex one, the Corryvreckan. So it's a nice Nice combination. I like it.
Yeah, as you said, it has a little bit of everything, and nothing is overwhelming. Because with the Corryrecken, the spice is pretty extreme. With the drum, because of the rum casks, you have those exotic fruits. And here you have all these different layers of flavor very delicately put together.
Yeah.
I think that makes it a great brand.
So I like it that it's a standard bottle or core range bottle, as you said. Do you know how available it is internationally?
We're running out over here, so if you're in a different country, please send a couple of bottles over.
Yeah, I think the availability is pretty short. So if you want to have one of these bottles and you see the chance to buy one of these bottles, then you might as well take it. So, is there anything else we need to know about the whiskey? Or
all you need to know, it's a very enjoyable dram. There's going to be a new release every year around September.
September, okay.
Every batch will be slightly different, with a different batch code and a different important person on the bottle. In this case, it's Mickey Heads, who knows who it's going to be next year.
Yeah.
And grab one. If you can.
Okay, so yeah, thank you very much for showing us the Ardbeg. And yeah, thank you very much for watching this video. If you found this video very interesting, then please feel free to share it with your friends, and see you next time.